Hello, testing. So, I am doing the second part, or the video of the UFO sighting in the evening of sometime in the spring of 2022. I believe, yeah. I forget it's 2024. So 2022. It was 2 years, or yeah, 2 weeks into the war with Ukraine where we began to do the tariffs and intervening. And this guy, Castor Site, he's like my favorite alien channel so far. On a TV, it looks amazing. Like it looks way beyond anything I've seen on the monitor. But so I recently came upon this thing, a crash in Russia. That okay, when I saw this UFO, it was in the middle of the night, dead quiet. I get out in my car, and for a month or two before, I guess, I would listen to the bottom of the dial AM 530 because it can pick up all kinds of weird frequencies. It sounds like just harsh noise. I love like this band Negative Lamp from the Bay Area. It was like a bunch of noise collage, and it's like, oh, you could just get it for free by turning to the AM dial and turning at the bottom. But so down here, I would chill out and kind of like watch for the saucers sometimes, and turn on that thing, the AM 530, and it would just be crazy. You'd hear like I forget like opera or something. From it sounds like from Canada, and I know I looked it up. The fucking call sign of the station at one time was CIA 0. So I was like, it's like bizarre. But yeah, no, they claim they're from like Nova Scotia or something, but it sounds just like completely, you know, a whole other level of communication or something. It's also a collage with like all the frequencies. Like I said, if it picks up the bottom of the dial, if it picks up like remote controls or like those noisemakers from the 90s, I remember. I have more stories about it, but it's like mixed between it almost, but it's so funny. But yeah, so okay, I get in my car and I'm about to leave. I get in the car and I turn on the car and I can hear somehow the AM like, but it's the radio is off. I swear to God, it's like in the mode where you can select which one. Like I usually always go to digital in or whatever, auxiliary in, but it's dead silent. The car's on, but I hear and I'm like, okay, the car's off, and I'm a little bit tired. I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna get in the car, drive down the street, chill for a little bit. I turn around. It's been about like a minute and a half driving down the street. I get to this hill, this transit station where I can see Mexico, and I see this giant fucking blue flash that goes whoop, and it like flies. It bends up so fast. Like I don't know how to explain it. It almost, because I'm driving in the street, it's like almost behind me or something. It looks like it's skipping off of the atmosphere almost, but at the same time, it looked like it was right in front of me. This is not an optical illusion, because usually it's just dead black there. And I do see sometimes like drones that have a similar color, but this is way different. This is a giant, like, just still thing. And at the same time, as I'm pulling up, I see it go down, up so fast, going up so freaking fast that it looks like the earth is spinning down almost. And I'm like, what? And I get into the stop sign like 10 seconds later, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm freaking out. I drive like maybe a minute and a half more. I was gonna go to the store, get McDonald's or something, and I just pull off to the side of the road. And I'm not trying to. I was trying to be like, you know, not alarm my brothers that I was like, I don't know, just like, oh, I'm wishing them a good night. And this freaking thing spins up and like shoots up so fast, and it's dead quiet. And all of a sudden, it feels like I have the craziest nausea. I'm not much nausea, but it feels like the earth is spinning, like woo woo, woo, or I'm getting seasickness from that almost. And I pull off, like 3 or 4 minutes later. eh, Instead of going to McDonald's, I'm like, oh my God, I saw a UFO. I saw a UFO. You saw a UFO. And I was just screaming like for like 20 minutes straight, 30 minutes straight. What the fuck? What the fuck? It was so so mind-blowing at the time. I remember I was looking for UFOs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be on the lookout for them. And then at the time, it was so mind-blowing that it actually made me just stop caring about it for like 3 or 4 weeks. I was like, oh my god, after seeing that, it's like, what's even the point? What's even the point? But one second, I'm trying to find the recordings of it. The other thing, too, is it seems like some of the recordings are missing, unfortunately, because we were in a chat group. But there's some. It's on March the 1st. And coincidentally, my last video was on, remember, at the end of February on Leap Year Day. But I can't find the exact date right now, but this is the point of this video. Why isn't this showing the dates clear? Oh, well. Okay. God dang it, UFO. So yeah, and then coincidentally, this is what really got me to be like, I need to make a video.
It's still trying. But notice, mate.
This is like an old school clip from, I swear, sightings in the 90s, but they would only show a tiny bit of it.
Notice something else. Oh, look at that. Notice, right, look, there it is, there. Boom. Look how it's...
Let's go a little bit, I'm sorry.
Right in, bang, like that, right? And then you would think that it would try to rotate or do some sort of boosters or something to try to level itself out. I don't know, man. Do something like that. But it's just not... Oh my god, man. It's been damaged on the first hit. So there's no smoke or electric or something coming out of it showing that it's damaged and it's gonna collapse. When something's in the sky, right, and it's damaged, an engine goes... This is UFO crash.
I remember seeing it on sightings, that clip, or maybe it's the Church of the Subgenius, but it's only a tiny bit. But this is the part where I'm getting to what I wanted to make a video about.
In Siberia, Russia, 1968. Like these things got 445 views from 10 years ago. Right? Look at it. Watch.
Remarkable new evidence. If this film indeed corresponds with Vereshchagin's story...
By the way, I might have to pause it a couple of times here and there, all right, to try to stop the claim.
What we are looking at is the scene of the crash site in Pereosovsk, as viewed by a camera on top of the military truck. The focal point of this scene is here, and indeed appears to be a disc embedded in the ground.
And also very similar to... But hang on, a disc? How is it in the middle of all these trees? Oh, so it's hit the trees and then fallen down, right? Maybe?
Here we see soldiers exiting the truck, led by a captain. The troops are met by another officer, this one a major, and then they join other soldiers and officers already on the scene.
I'd seen this on sightings as well, only like a couple seconds of it before there's commercials.
Of film acquired during
But
our
he's all saying, why would
investigation.
somebody fake this?
Dang.
Okay.
You ain't gonna do it, mate. Right?
This is about exactly the same size as what I saw. I'm seeing a second.
Ain't gonna do it.
Explore it. This film footage certainly seems to depict interest by Russian military personnel in the object that is seen sticking out of the ground.
Look at this thing,
Soldiers,
man.
officers, and civilian clothes.
And some people are saying that like UFOs don't exist, and we haven't. Like, okay, it could be all bullshit, right? Right? It could be all bullshit. But mate, if this is real, are you telling me that we haven't managed to salvage some technology? That we haven't been able to...
See, this is where I actually think this is just hubris or whatever, that it's not... I mean, okay, the lowest level explanation is it is somehow tied to, like, entertainment. And that's a stupid fucking answer, but it's California, baby, so It could be, like I said, drones, but this was nothing in my life has been close to this. There was one other thing out in they call it East Lake that I've seen that in Chula Vista, California, that it's close to this weird like optical trick, but this was, I mean, it made me completely, instead of want to go to sleep, screaming for like a half hour straight. And I cannot find the clips though. 1 second. This Facebook Messenger is a piece of crud. One more second.
Take an alien being and examine it, do an autopsy on it, or we've got them alive somewhere. Mate, really? I'm sure we have. I'm sure we have. And the more and more I look at this UFO stuff, the more it just confirms to me, mate, it's definitely out there. Now
See, I think that's real. It could be fake too, but you know, it's like the start of a Moscow cinema or something. But I think that's real, unfortunately. And it gets back to my theory about, yeah, governments have encountered aliens, but probably it's like an unending riddle on how to, what they're doing here or whatever. Maybe that thing didn't open or something. That's my best guess. Because I know some people were saying, pardon me, I know some people were saying, like, the Ruskies would fake, they want to fake that they have all this shit. But this is even makes them look worse in a way, because they don't know what the fuck that is, for one. And I would listen to, like, this show, Negative Land, that would have stories in the 80s of the Cold War. And I remember they're saying it was so poor, you'd have to buy ice cream cone wrappers in Moscow to wipe your own ass. It was that bad of a situation. So I'm almost like, are they really faking UFO videos that, I don't know, 30 years later, only 140 people seen on YouTube? Oh man. So anyways, let's see. Why is this so difficult? It's basically, I think Facebook doesn't want to take the time to keep that crap on their servers. They just want to have like the lightest thing possible bandwidth wise or something. Okay, 1 second. Search messages. This is it, okay. The time is March 2nd, 2022. Me and my brother nonstop chat about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And this is like the hitbox for fucking John Lennon, unfortunately. That picture. Oops. Yes, so okay. I have this. 1 second. So a few months before, maybe 5 or 6 months before, no, earlier than this, through one of my acquaintances, they said they saw exactly that kind of thing. I believe it's in Colorado, and here's the photograph of it. Let's see, once again. Display. Dude. Come on. He has this, and in person, this looks way, I mean, it looks genuinely real. And this, again, is like around the same size and dimensions of what I saw, kind of. Yeah, if these are cars. I was saying, okay, instead of being like tiny lights on the horizon, you know, I don't know how to explain how tiny they are. Or maybe like a plane be like 5 times bigger than a tiny light. This was like the size of a house in front of me times 2 almost, or maybe 1.5 times. And it's around the same level on the horizon as a house is almost, but it's floating above it. I went on 3D Paint and I tried to just freaking make it. 3D Paint is amazing for these shapes of UFOs, hilariously. But 1 second. one last thing. Trying to find the message as me describing it, because this is where I pulled off. Okay, good. And I'm just saying it was around this big, maybe this big, and it goes whoop, and it all the lights were the horizon of, like, I guess it's not really TJ, but towards TJ, it went foo, and I started getting so nauseous. I was like, what is going on? Okay, that UFO went from chilling to pulled off the side of the road saying what the fuck for 10 minutes. Oh, that's wrong. I was saying screaming it for like 35 minutes, even though my boss and all this shit. And they're like, you generally saw one. Or, yeah, talking about Marvel. Oh, man. Okay, this is it, I think.
Dude, that shit was great, but I'm so mad it crashed. I was telling
about the game.
I don't even know how that happened.
See, this is weird because there should be
those
group text
fucking
on this.
optic blasts though.
Okay, so stupid.
My bad for rambling. Of course. Okay, you want to take this perspective. It was like 5 times bigger than that light, that sheet light above me, and it was above the horizon. Dude, I don't even know. I will draw a picture of it later, but it was like a turquoise blue diamond shape. Yeah, this is just a photo to try and give perspective, but it would be like huge compared
These,
to
like,
that light.
noises?
See that light? It was like I was saying, see on the horizon there's houses? It was like as big as a small house on the horizon, but flying like that. Dude, that was so insane, man. The weirdest part too is I turned on my car and it sounded like the radio was on, but there was nothing there. It was like this, like,
So make them recording it. 17 minutes.
I don't even know. I'm gonna stop rambling. I was rewatching this documentary I have Mom watch last year. It talks about how Putin is the master of fucking misinformation or disinformation, but it's also like 6 hours long.
Completely misnomer. It's more that in the end of, I guess this can't get you out of my head, it talks about how after Gorbachev, I think, when Putin took over, even his party didn't know how he was feeling, let alone like the U.S., and this is what he heavily relied on. But at the same time, I guess because they were in such a difficult state, it's like almost he is a nihilist almost. And of course, in the Ukraine war, people began to be like, oh man, he's like hiding away. He's all, he's going crazy or something. But yeah, I should need to rewatch. I'm at the 3/4 through this documentary, and it hasn't even gotten really into Russia that much in the modern times. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one, stupidly. Anything more?
Long, and it's super intense. It like makes me cry like a bitch, but that was
so weird
so
that I can't
insane.
find the
And it was not necessarily above me, or like directly above my car, but it was like arcing in front of me. So it felt, like I said, like the world was spinning. That was so crazy. I'm sorry.
It's so hilarious that I can't find the other things, though. But one second. Maybe I sent it by text, but that doesn't even make sense. One second. Stupid, I posted lewd stuff. Okay, when is this? Or it included it. A few months before, this is me, like, laughing about, there's, like, 2 or 3 things where, like, this is, I think, these kids in South Africa all said they saw a UFO land, and then also, I think this other drawing is, like, in I guess it's Arizona or something. No, New Mexico. This police officer said a UFO landed, I believe. This is so goofy, though. I can't find the good shit. So yeah, one second. I'm sorry, one second. Okay, yes, it's encrypted, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, great. So yeah, I forgot about another episode. We could talk
It's
about the
actually
balloons.
like a year ago I saw a balloon in the daylight. It was like, I forgot what it made it special. It was like bigger than a normal balloon. It didn't move, and it was like reflective, very reflective. And as I was driving, it flew up in the clouds, almost like it was a ball of light or something like that, more than a balloon. But I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what these fucking click noises are. Maybe it's, I don't know. It's fucking weird. Yeah, this is creeping me out a little bit because I can't find the other video or the other audio clip. But damn. So great idea for another episode. The balloons. The
I don't
balloons.
know if you've ever heard the story of I call it like the big UFO story, where everything else seems pale in comparison. But that one is probably second. I would just drive out to the middle of nowhere and just sit in the car and watch these like red orbs fly around quietly, like super silent, and like coyotes would come up to my car. It was fucking wild. That's what I call UFO hunting. But the mega UFO is the one that scared me shitless for a while. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about UFOs.
Another great idea episode is the red dots with the coyotes, because they call it the space preserve or something out here, the nature and space preserve. And there's a couple times, both times I would, or three times maybe, yeah, three times I think, when I would sit there and watch the planes and stuff like that, the lights, kind of like towards the desert, this beautiful desert, and there's a water reserve too. What is it called? Like a lake or something? Some kind of like something like that. But oh my god, this beautiful dark desert at night. There's like, it's pitch black. And the sounds and quietness remind me of Half-Life somehow. The lake level in like the middle or end of Half-Life. It's quite like that, but it's pitch black. And my friends and I would talk about, there's police, there's border patrol, and then there's also Blackwater, the military intelligence company or whatever. And so they're always watching there because it's so dark and quiet. But even like I said, the point of this story though is what I saw is beyond human. It's beyond human. Second.
Beneath it though, that's weird. Yeah, the thing is, what I saw, it almost looked more like a ball of light, but it's probably to fool the eye, because like the thing is that crazy when I saw it was still looked like it was human made, but the way my perception when I saw it and the way it took off, like jetted off, and because I think it knew where my perception was coming from, it pulls up super fast. Where it pulled up so fast, it made me like get nauseous, like I was getting, like the earth was spinning. I was like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? I pull over within like, 2 minutes. I'm on a Facebook call. I'm like,
I'm freaking out. I'm trying to not freak out. I'm freaking out. It was great. That's the classic line. I'm trying to not freak out. I'm freaking out. I was that convinced about what I saw. I try to do this way. A year before. And I'm not trying to say I'm special or something like that. There, besides the balloons, there's one other time too. I'm trying to figure out when this would be, where there's this crazy storm around here, and I was like really depressed, really depressed at the time. It was in the news. It kept being some crazy person in America with a gun and shoots people, and it was like the ninth time it happened. It's felt like, and I got so depressed. And there's this crazy storm. Maybe this is the fall before this, I think. But I got this crazy. There's this crazy storm where I was so depressed. But at the time, I was so into observing nature, where I think I started using this microscope I had, and I could like walk through a park, and to pick out I would pick out mushrooms. Through one walk, like a 20-minute walk, I could find like 5 species of mushrooms, and I began to identify them. Although back then I was kind of a novice still, but I could find 5 different species in one tiny walk, and other things too. I was like really into nature, and during this depression thing, I had this crazy feeling that about like, why aren't the aliens here? It's like they just can't be. The way it's they're not connected to us, unfortunately, like by physics or um, by biology or something like that. I could see these things that were like reasons why. It makes me really want to rewatch the right stuff, where they train to go to space, because it was these feelings about, even if you try and send a pilot into space, the difficulty of being conscious and all that, it begins to become more and more difficult, and it was really weird. It was really crazy enough where there was in RollingStone.com. There's this thing about, oh, call in if you're having a bad psychedelic experience, and it is enough where I called in and I told them, hey, you know what? This is not really like that, but I feel like it felt like a paranormal experience, unfortunately. And it was really weird because it was somehow tied into like looking at these mushrooms and thinking about like spores and stuff like that, because that was the fascinating part. I take spore prints of it, and to identify the mushrooms, and it would be like these like daydreams sort of in the middle of this storm about, like, okay, there's the normal variety of what I'd see, and then there would be like one that'd be really beautiful, or like really just strange, like a bright yellow one in the middle of ice plant. And when I looked on the internet, it's like, oh, this is just a species that grows in people's garden pots, and it didn't really have a descriptor. And I was like, what the? So anyways, yeah, I was like, that's why the only reason why I don't want to say I don't even know how to explain it really. The thing about the, like, why am I so special that I would see it or something, but I would really want to see it, like I said. Dang, 1 second. Why is this thing so stupid, man? So instead of just saying UFO, if I put the words saw a UFO, it's bringing up a lot more. Dang it, where's the freaking... This is a throwback from talking to my brother from over 10 years ago. 1 second. This fucking thing's such a silly joke. Do I maybe have the dates wrong, though? This is only when my brother began to care about it. He'd ask me, like, really, you think you saw it? Draw me it, but you can't really... 1 second. It's such a joke, though. It's not pulling up stuff. Any dates? Any dates?
Now listen, right? I do believe in aliens, and I do believe in UFOs, but I also do think that a lot of the UFOs out there aren't alien technology. They are made by us. And we're testing different crafts out. Ooh.
Thing is, this guy sees so much bad edits and shit like that, and so much goofy stuff, and has to, like, humor the things that just look terrible. But I swear, through this guy's channel, if you, especially on a nice TV size monitor or whatever, I've seen some clips of stuff that is just, I don't know. I mean, there's a video I need to watch too about an explanation of it. This guy was saying that it was Russia somehow. Like these videos of these satellites by the moon. He's like, oh, it's some kind of weapon from Russia, but I don't think so about it. I don't know. Dude, at the time of that storm, though, I gotta place this. After the storm, the smell, because it was like pulling up stuff from the ocean, and at the time there was combat in the northern hemisphere, as well as like I forget, some kind of some sort of like satellite going to Jupiter, or observing one of the moons of Jupiter. After this storm, the smell was so disgusting. It was like the grossest sulfurous smell. But this is not back to the story. I guess this is a whole span of like when the conflict in Ukraine or whatever was at its peak almost. But yeah, it's such a joke this is not showing more.
Which, okay, right. Which, I'm going to show you something in a minute after this, right?
The agents are deployed around the site, and they appear to be both guarding and examining the object. This is what we found on one of the 4 reels of film obtained in Russia. After viewing the footage, we were able to determine that it was most likely shot with 2 separate cameras. One apparently a handheld camera, which starts out on the approaching truck, and a second one seen here on a tripod.
I suppose, though, think about it. The question would be, if this craft is from our own, say, government.
Author Veniamin Vereshchagin
It
described
obviously is.
Look at this material, mate. Is that transparent?
Like, who would fake this?
Does that look even is that transparent there, mate?
This is what I'm saying. What I saw was...
Is that almost like cloaking?
I'll just dictate what I saw last thing.
See this tree coming down here? Boom, boom, boom.
In a half hour, this is kind of what I was searching for, what you're shooting
События
for.
приняли более такой масштабный характер.
I'm shocked, mate, because I haven't seen the full thing, right? Look at this!
a total of almost 1,200 feet of negative were recovered just on this crash.
Okay, I really don't think it's just war or entertainment. I think it is something more, but here we go. Pardon me. All right. So this is March 2nd, 2022. Talking to my friend Daniel Whiteside, I could call him. Just an online friend, but I said, dude, last night I saw the craziest UFO. It was so big and fast, moving like a stone, skipping on upon in front of me. I actually got motion sickness seeing it. It felt like the earth was moving around for a second. I was just saying, what the fuck for an hour, and unable to drive for 10 minutes. It's like, what the strange energy lately. And I said, he's like, where is it? And I said, 15 minutes. That's kind of wrong, but 15 minutes from Tijuana, moving towards there. Super low, completely silent. The shape of a diamond, like 50 times larger than anything I've seen in the sky. 20 times crazier than anything close. I never see stuff like flying like that in that area too. It's weird. I see kind of drones further out east. I was just screaming to my brothers in a voice chat for like 10 minutes. It was a total infrared hazard experience. Like a brain-breaking thing. It was like a blue turquoise diamond shape with orange speckles.
Look at this!
Directing the cameraman to point his camera toward the disc.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I don't know.
In fact, that the shot was not included in the cans of film we acquired.
Mate, I can't wait for the day that this shit happens again and somebody goes there with a 25k camera, mate, right? Sod the 2k and the 4.
Alright, so let's finish this up, I guess. Okay, so it was, what is it? It was blue turquoise diamond shape with some orange speckles. It was so fast, it would be impossible to photograph or even a video would just blur. It was so fucked. It was, the weirdest part is how it made the earth feel like it was spinning and gave me motion sickness because of the pond arc. It dipped and pulled up and it vanished like the earth, like a swing or something. It was so insane. I wasn't expecting it at all. Oh yeah, okay, so what is it? He said that area out there has weird vibes, the nature preserve. I guess he's been here before too. I said, okay, I got in my car and I thought that the radio was on, but it was silent. I was like, I started driving about a minute or so above my head and I saw it. I want to say it was super advanced military on a second thought, but I was so confused. I had no idea what the fuck happened, and it was just dead silent, so big and fast. I believe aliens are out there, but they're just so alien to us, the government bluffs or something. Yeah, and that's the story of 2022 March. Okay. I'm gonna have to cut it off, but I appreciate it so much. Anybody watched, shared, commented, thought about it, had anything like that at all? Alright.
And here you see the man.
Alright, everybody have a good night. Thank you so much.